Hello, my name is Madeline, and welcome to this Yin Yoga class for burnout and fatigue. So, in this class, it'll be pretty gentle, very restful, especially if you've been, burnt out or feeling really exhausted. This is just a great time to take for yourself and to rest and just feel into the body. So, let's get right into it. We'll come down onto our backs. Actually, first, if you have a pillow or a bolster, I definitely recommend grabbing that so you can pause the video and make sure you have a pillow. If you don't have one, it's all good. It'll be totally fine without it, but definitely could be nice. So let's get down onto our backs. We're going to come into a constructive rest here. So coming down onto the back, can walk the feet out wide towards the edges of the mat and just allow those knees to knock in together. So, really simple, gentle pose that really helps the body relax. And once you're here, just try to notice where the mind is at, where your body's at, where your heart is at, and then surrender into the pose. And remember to breathe really deeply here. And let's take a few more deep breaths here. Take one last deep breath. And slowly let it go. Walking those heels back in. You can hug the knees into the chest and rock a couple times side to side if that feels good. Then come to press up onto hands and knees. However you like, you can rock back and forth, or you can just move over to the side and press up. So coming into that tabletop, you can take a couple of cat-cows here as you inhale, arching the spine and looking up. And then rounding the back as you exhale. And you can continue like that or take any kind of fluid movement that feels good in the body. Just listening intuitively here. And then return back to neutral tabletop. We're going to come into a supported child's pose. So this is where you're going to want to grab your pillow or your bolster and place it right out in front of you. And bring the feet together and then the knees out wide on the mat, the bolster kind of in between those knees. And then start to fold forward, drawing the chest down to the pillow or bolster. And you can rest one cheek over to the side, whatever feels good. And I'll instruct you halfway through to switch to the other side. So, really just allowing yourself to sink into your pillow, your bolster, letting yourself feel supported. Then continue with that deep breathing. And if you have your cheek facing one way, go ahead and turn that head the other way. And let's take one more breath here. And then slowly start to roll back up, taking your time. You can keep that pillow nearby. An option to come back onto hands and knees and take a little bit of movement, only if it feels good in the body. And then return back to center. We're going to come into a deer pose with the pillow or the bolster. So you can keep that pillow out the long way in front of you. We're just going to bring that left thigh to really come in line with that front of the pillow. And that left leg is going to be bent. And then you're going to bend at the right knee as well. So you kind of have two triangles here, like two right angles. And then allow your body to face forward and then start to fold forward over that pillow, allowing yourself to really rest down on the pillow. And you can bring your head to any position that feels comfortable. And remember to breathe deeply, really let your whole body sink into that pillow. If you're watching me, I'm just not going all the way down just because it'll mess up the sound, but allow yourself to really just melt into it. And let's take a couple more deep breaths here. Take one last breath, and then slowly start to roll back up, taking your time. From here, we'll just move right into that other side. So this time you can start to bring the right thigh in line with the front of that pillow, bend at the right knee and then at the left knee. So your right foot is kind of resting on that left thigh. And then let your whole body turn to face front and start to fold forward over your leg and onto that pillow, or if you don't have a pillow, towards the ground. Finding any head position that feels good. And breathing deeply. And remember, keep breathing. And take a couple more deep breaths here. Take one last breath. And then slowly start to press back up onto those hands. You can let everything go, turning around, facing front on your mat. You can extend those legs out long, maybe shaking them out a little bit. Return back to stillness, and we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. You might want to have the pillow nearby again. And we're going to come into a reclining butterfly. So it could be nice to place that pillow underneath the knees and then start to draw the soles of the feet together in front of you. You don't need to use the pillow if you don't want to, but it can feel really nice just to have that extra support. So it's up to you, just as long as you feel a nice opening in those hips. Remember keeping the attention on the breath. And let's take a few more breaths here. Take one last deep breath and slowly bring the hands to the thighs And start to draw those knees back in. No rush. You can bring the knees into the chest, returning to that rocking from side to side. You can move the pillow over to the side. And from here, we're going to come into a reclining twist. So start to shift those hips a little over to the left, and then let the knees drop over to the right. You can always place that pillow underneath the knees or in between the knees if that feels nice. And then extend that left arm out into a T shape or a cactus shape. So trying to get that left shoulder to remain pressing down on the mat. And you can always come into any other twist variation that feels best for you. And send the breath all the way up and down the spine. Really nice detoxifying pose. And we'll take a few more breaths in the twist. And take one last breath and slowly start to draw those knees back to center. And we'll go right into that other side, this time shifting hips to the right and then allowing those knees to drop over to the left. You can extend that right arm out into a T shape or a cactus shape, trying to keep right shoulder pressing down on the mat. You can always place that pillow in between the knees or underneath the knees. And again, send that breath along the spine, allowing any last remaining stress or tension to just exit your body. And let's take a few more breaths here. Take one last deep breath. And then slowly start to draw those knees back into the chest. You can hug the knees in, maybe rock a little side to side. And from here, you can take any final poses or movement your body is needing before we head into Shavasana. So maybe a happy baby or a snail or anything you like. And whenever you're ready, there is no rush at all. Starting to extend those legs out long. It can feel really nice to grab that pillow and place it underneath the knees for your final resting pose. Just an option. So allowing those legs to drape out, the arms drape out to the sides, feeling the whole body surrendering into the earth for your final resting pose, Shavasana. And if you have the time, I definitely encourage you to stay in the Shavasana for as long as you like. If you have to get going, we'll close with one final breath. You can exhale the air out now. Take an inhale through the nose, and then a big sigh out the mouth. And thank you so much for practicing with me today and for taking this time for yourself. Hopefully, it allowed you some rest in this time of burnout and fatigue. And if you'd like to see more Yin Yoga classes like this, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again next time.